Okay, tonight I'm going to tie up what I call, well, it's a variation of what they call a Kinney stone. And I've used it. I saw a guy fish it with it a couple of years ago, and I tried it, my own variation, and it works great. So what I've got here, you could do this anywhere from size 12 to 18. Here I've got a 1/8 inch gold bead on it. You can use any color bead that you want. You just want it like a um, nymph type hook. So the first step is to wrap the, what I do is I use .020 lead, and you want to get about 10 wraps on there. Maybe, I mean, if you go a little more, it's not the end of the world. Alright. So, once you get it on there, you just take and helicopter that off. And put that up there, and let's put one more on there just to be safe. Hold it in place, helicopter it off. There we go. Okay, so now that we got that on there, what I'm using to tie this is I'm doing an olive color. So you could do this in brown, black, white, any color you can do it in pretty much. But you want to use 6/0 unithread, no matter what color you use. 6/0 unithread. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to just build a base up. What you want to do is build that base up right at the bottom of that lead so it doesn't slide down. And then once you get that on there, you just put a few wraps here. You don't have to go crazy on the lead because you're going to cover that up pretty much anyways. So what we'll do is we'll just wrap this down to the, you want to go right to the end of the turn of the hook there, just like that. Bring it back up here. You can just pull that off of there. You don't have to cut that. You can just pull that off. So we got that tied in. So the first step in the actual applying material is going to be to put on our bottom silly legs. And what they are is I'm just using olive and black barred silly legs from in the nymph size. So what you do is just cut one leg off of there, or one strand off. And what you want to do is fold this in half like so. Get it in half like that, and pinch it off. Pinch it with your fingers. You want those to be together on the end. And so, let's see. Alright, there we go. Okay, so you get them there. Now what you want to do is you want to just lay this on there, like so. And you want to stop your wrap about halfway, just about where your lead starts would be fine. And just get that started in there and get a couple wraps. So you want like 2 wraps on there, and then you can kind of mess with this and see where it's going to sit. So what you want to do is just pull these down, because you want these on the side, completely on the side on all of them. So once you get it kind of where you want it, then you can just tighten it down. Just watch it. Watch it go back. Make sure everything stays where you want it. There we go. There. Perfect. Ooh. Trying to be careful there that you don't catch your thread. So once you get it tied in, you can take the butt section here, the ends, and just give them a trim. And then what I do is you got the it's connected on the top. I just fold this up, and you want to go. I usually go right just before the eye of the hook without pulling on them. There. And you want to be careful with these midge because you'll break the legs off real easy. There. So you can see I've got my back legs on. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to tie in our halo tinsel. And what that is just tinsel, and I'm using gold. I actually wish I had some green, olive green, because it works really well. And you'll see why we're doing this in just a moment. So I'll just cut off a piece, so long. And you want to set that down on the base. Again, you want you want to be right about where the lead starts there. And you want to just lay this on there and tie it down. Tie it back to right where your legs start. And then cut off the excess. There we go. And that doesn't matter because you're going to cover all that up anyway. The next thing that we're going to put on is our V-rib, vinyl rib. I'm using olive mid-size V-rib. You could use small easily. That would work just fine. I just don't have any. So we're going to use this. So you want to cut off again about 6 inches. So you got your V-rib there. And what you want to do is the same thing. Bring this up to about where your lead starts. And tie it in. There we go. Just tie it back. There we go. Now, once you get that tied in, what you want to do is you want to just go ahead and work this up forward. Kind of, getting a good body there. We're not really worried about the front of the head here. You can see on the front, it's real narrow, but up in here we don't care because we're going to be putting stuff on there. But you want kind of a tapered carrot shape from where your legs are up to where where it stops, which is 3/4 of the way up the hook. Get a good carrot shape in there. So once you get that tied in and it's solid, what you want to do is take this V-rib and just give it a little stretch. You don't want to reef on it. You just need to give it a pull like this. And what that does is it flattens it out so it's not round. Just give it a little tug there. There. That's all you need to do. So the next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to take our halo tinsel in the gold and we're going to wrap this forward. And you want to wrap this all the way forward, touching turns, like so. Touching turns all the way forward. Again, you can vary the colors on this to whatever suits your fancy. So, you wrap it all the way forward. I shouldn't say all the way. You want to wrap it to where your legs or your body gets thin there up towards the top is fine. So just get that wrapped in there. Put about 3 wraps on it just to hold it in place. Be fine. Take your scissors. Cut off the excess. Okay. Now we got that in there. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take and wrap our vinyl rib. Now the reason we put that gold tinsel on there is because that really shows up as a really good underbody when it's in the water. So what you want to do is just start wrapping this forward like so. Like so. Again, touching turns all the way up. Touching turns. Touching turns. Touching turns. There we go. That should be good. There we go. Again, same thing like we did with the tinsel. Just tie it in. 3 wraps is plenty. A couple in the front. So, once you get that tied in, you just take and trim that off. There we go. There. I got some sticking out, so I'll just finish that up here. There we go. Got it. So, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to tie in our flashback. And what I'm using is just clear flashback material. It's called flashback material. It looks like it looks white, but it's not. It's clear. So what you do is you just peel it like a sticker. You actually have to cut this to size. It comes in sheets. But once you get it peeled, you just peel that off there just like that, and you can see that's going to give us our flashback. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this on there like that. Just set it on there. Now I like to go a little bit before the bead to start that, because then you don't have to worry about that extra hanging over. So if you just get it started like this, and you want it, really vertical on the back, pull it back. There we go. Get that tied in. There. So finish this up. There. So we got our flash, our backing material, I guess you call it, in. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to build up just a little collar for the dubbing. Or with dubbing, I should say. So what I'm using on this is, I think Sometimes I use regular olive, but this stuff I'm using ice dub. Just so I can give it some bugginess. And so you just put that on there. Maybe you put that on there. Whew. There we go. And this is an olive ice dub. So we'll just get that wrapped on there. What you want is you don't need much right now. We're just going to build a collar up here on this. One more little bit. Again, depending on how buggy you want it, you can do more or less. Make it your own. So for me, that's enough for what I want to do here. So I just want to put that collar on there, just like that. There we go. There we go. I actually didn't need that much. So once you get that on there, just put a couple more wraps on there. So we got a nice, you could see that nice collar there of the dubbing. Let me just come in here closer. So you can see we got a nice dubbing there. We've still got about a little over 1/8 of an inch at the front of the bug. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put in our next set of legs. So let's go back to our silly legs here. And we're going to cut off another little chunk. Silly legs come in that. So we just need one. Well, we need one for each side. So, and actually what you can do here is you can just cut one off. You can cut one off and come over here and get it close. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to trim them up anyways. But so there we've got 2 more dubbing legs out of that one strand. And you're going to set this. Now you want these right on the side of the fly. So we get one wrap on there and get it started. Kind of get it where you want it. On this side. There we go. Put maybe 2 more wraps in. And then grab your other one. And put that up here like so. I really like this pattern in black. Black's really good. It works really well. In fact, not many people know about this pattern, so see how long we could keep it a secret. Alright, there we go. So once you get them where you want them, kind of like that, what you're going to do is you're going to grab what I do is I grab all 4 of the legs. And you don't want to pull too hard on them, especially when you're cutting them to length, because they will stretch, and you can never seem to get them all to stretch the same amount. So you just grab all 4 of them, cut them up, and you want to go like 3/4 of an inch is fine. You can go lower, you can go as much as you want. You could leave them an inch if you wanted. Just depends on what you want to do. So you can see there we've got all our legs in place for this. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in some more. We're going to put in some more dubbing on. There we go. So this is where we're going to start piling the dubbing on here. What I like to do with these is I like to put the dubbing on in stages. Like I did that to build up the collar and the back. Now I'm going to put some more on, not much. A couple inches worth to go in between the legs. And this is really where you want to keep it buggy, so you don't want to tighten it too tight. You don't need too much on there. So I got that on there, so I'm just going to wrap this on. There we go. 1, 2. That's good. Then we're going to pull all 4 of the hair of our legs back. There we go. And we're going to pull off the extra and give that. So you can see that really gives it a nice, real buggy look. You can see where I put that dubbing on there. I don't know how well you can see it, but so that gives it a real nice dubbing look. So now that we got that done, I just sometimes touch up right here, like so. You want to touch the top up. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring our body or our back over the top. So what you want to do is take your little scud back. I guess people call it scud back too, and pull everything back. Get this up there. Put maybe 1, 2. Now what you want to do once you get that on there is you want to do about 1 or 2 wraps, and then give it a tug. And sometimes it takes a few times to get it where you want it. so it looks the way that you want it to. You really just want it to lay flat, but it doesn't always want to cooperate. There we go. 1, 2. See, I'm happy with that now. That's good. So we're going to go like that. And so now that you got that in, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take and you want to cut this off. You know, cut the butt end off as close to that as you can. There we go. So we got that done. There we go. So now what we're going to do, that we got that on, is we're going to just put another, we're just going to put another quick dab of dubbing on. And sometimes I'll make this a hot spot on them. I'll put like some fluorescent pink or chartreuse dubbing right at the tip, and you'd be surprised how much that helps. You know, that little piece of fluorescent in there. So you get that on there. Now you might have to add some more, might have to take some off. It just depends. But what we want to do is just get a real nice base in there. Get our legs where we want them. Sometimes I'll take these legs like this and I'll pull them forward, because you really want them pointed forward, and go like that with them. There we go. Perfect. Looking good. So the only thing left to do here, now that we have that on, so you can see what it looks like. We got our flashback on there. Let's get down in here and see if you can see that. You can't really see that on camera, because I don't really have a great camera. But you can see the bugginess there against my black shirt. So you want it to look that. Again, just look over the fly, make sure everything looks good when you get to this point. So everything looks good to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and just do our whip finish. Put it back. Oop. There we go. I want to put, 4 or 5 turns. There we go. There we go. Tighten it up. There we go. There we go. A lot of guys will just break that off, but I get nervous when I do that. There's that. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're just going to take our fly head cement, and I like to put a little dab on the tail right where we started our wraps. Seal that down, and then we're going to put a little bit right here at the top of the head. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so another thing I do with this is, now that I got that on there, you can see I've got everything done. I take my little green, I got a green Sharpie here in this case, and I just put a couple dots. Just put a couple dots on that, on the back, so you can see that turned it a little green there. Boy, I wish I could see that better. But you just put a couple dots on there, and that's it. That's the fly. And this is a really good pattern to use, so don't be afraid to tie it up. Make your own variation. Do what you got to do. You can leave it buggy. You can make it unbuggy. Whatever you want to do. Oh, look at that. All that tying, and I broke off the leg. The good thing about this is it doesn't really matter, because I've caught them with no legs on them with this pattern. So anyway, that's the fly. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye.